Alrighty, hello and welcome everybody to ORL Round 6 here in Tier 2 for Hungary. It is a sprint and I'm joined by J-Man in the comms box. How are you, J-Man?
I'm fantastic, thanks, Lindsay. I'm very excited for today. We got an extremely close championship race to look forward to today. We've got two actually, so we'll double up.
Yeah, that should be exciting. As obviously Kia, one of the bigger championship contenders, not racing today, but the two main people who are tied in the championship in the lead, McNuggies and Sparks, are here today. So this is going to be the battle on, and I think there are a few other drivers that will be looking to make their way through in the championship and get up into this fight.
Yeah, it's a straight fight today between Sparks and McNuggies, even on points. Whoever gets more will inherit the lead unless some craziness happens. Mickey's not too far behind. He has managed to knock both those drivers off last week, and Hudman has also parachuted himself into the championship battle after that win last week, and now he's got himself full-time seat at Williams.
Yeah, obviously he is a very fast driver, so this should be interesting to see how he can fare. As is McNuggies the first person out on track? Yeah, he is.
Yep, he's ready to go around the Hungaro ring. Very nice track to drive on.
Yeah, I think especially on this game, the downforce and the confidence you can have with this game, it definitely makes the track feel very nice, and you definitely have confidence behind you. So I think it'll be cool to see these tier 2 drivers pushing to the limits.
Yeah, qualifying's always good around here. You got to be quite skillful to set a quality lap around here. It's a technical track. It's very rewarding if you get it right though. So we'll see who's able to do that today.
Yeah, I think my bet would be Sparks. I've seen some of his pace, but it all depends on how he can cope under the pressure. I also hope my driver in Milan can show up and get a good result, and I'd imagine you hope Alpha 3 gets a good result. And it's Sandy.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they can do today. As McNuggies just slowly making ways around the final corner. And we'll just have a quick overview of the championship standings while he makes his way down the main straight. Obviously, we've got Sparks and McNuggies, as we said, in the lead on 66, followed by Drift 63, Mickey 17 points back, 46. Then DXman not racing today. Kizzy a little bit further back on 33. He'll be hoping for a good result.
McNuggies backed out.
Yeah, he's backed out of his lap already. And then Milan and Hudman, Phoenix, PS Bomb around out the top 10 there. So, all to play for. There's a lot of very handy drivers that haven't, that are not up the top of the championship at the moment that could potentially break through.
Yeah, I think Hudman definitely being one of them too. He's joined late into the season. He was a reserve, and now he's obviously, as we said, moved up to full-time Williams, and I think it's exciting to see how he'll come back through. It's a long season this season of ORL, 20 rounds, and we're only at the beginning, 6 rounds in, so he still has some time to claw back that time in the championship.
Yeah, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. As Hudman has, I'm not sure if he's on a lap, but he's got a McLaren extremely close behind him here, Webbo. Yeah, he's moved out of the way for him. We'll see. We'll follow Webbo here through the second sector, see what he can come up with. Not sure about his start of the season. He's racked up 11 points, 10 of those coming in the opening race. So it's been a quiet few rounds for him, as McNuggies, but that was an out lap, or a slow lap, so that doesn't really count. This will be a little bit more representative as Webbo rounds the final corner. DRS opens up, and it'll be a 1:17.6, so still plenty of time to be gained.
Has Sandy 17.5, and Sparks is coming through the middle sector, so we'll watch on with him. Milan 17.2 sets provisional pole position. I think the time's only going to ramp up from here. Sparks sending it through the middle sector there, gets onto the edge on the white line. Sometimes that'll invalidate you, sometimes it won't, but he's absolutely pushing it here in his his banker lap, sorry, as through the double left-hander. hits the second apex, gets a good exit, smooth as you like to the line. You've got to hit this second apex, get a good exit onto the straight, open the DRS to the line. It should be provisional pole easily there. 16.8, the first driver into the 16s.
Yeah, great start from Spark. We've seen 2 drivers already in McNuggies and Hudman take 2 outlaps off the start, so not sure if that's a Hungary specific tactic or whether they do that all the time.
I think McNuggies, he just had a snap of oversteer out of turn 1.
Yeah, well, Hudman definitely is going for 2 outlaps. I think he's on a lap now. Yeah, he is.
So let's look for... Oh, yeah. Oh, Hudman's gone.
He's gone straight on there.
I think he's letting the Aston through.
Maybe not on the lap once again there, so maybe he's just having a few laps to just have a look at the view around the Hungary circuit, it looks like.
Yeah, it is a bit of a hilly one, but nothing much to look at.
Yeah. And we'll have a look at the constructors in the meantime. I'm just watching Mickey, who's invalidated, so he'll start another lap. And your team, Alfa Romeo, currently lead by 5 points over Red Bull, who are 1 driver short today, it looks like. So could be a chance for Alfa to extend that lead.
Well, we are both 1 driver short, so...
You're meant to have 2, but Type and TJ not here yet. And a little bit further back, AlphaTauri have jumped up into 4th after their brilliant 1-2 last week. We'll see if they can repeat those heroics. No Hudman reserving for them this week, though, so that makes the task a little bit more difficult. And they'd have 1 driver as well, so that makes it pretty impossible.
Yeah, it's tricky out here. Also, Jamin, do you want to check if anybody's ready to be invited who's running late?
Yep, I will have a look at that.
As Mickey through the middle sector nearly invalidates again. He's purple though, according to the mini-map. Don't know how much trust I have in it. As through the final sector, just dip it into the right. Now hard on the brakes, easy to lock up and just run a bit deep. And as I said that, he does run a little bit wide, but the run to the line, Mickey is one of the contenders for pole probably. He had a strong week last week. Will he be able to repeat that success here in qualifying? He moves up into P11, so not a great first lap, and 18.1 definitely is going to need to improve there. As moving back up the field, it looks like there are a couple of drivers now on outlaps. I think McNuggies is pushing, but he's just gone off the track. Didn't invalidate him though. Is he pushing? Let me check the telemetry. Yep, he is pushing. He's got his battery on, so we'll go on board with the Mercedes driver as he's enter Sector 2. Back on the power now, head into the chicane. You've really got to take as much curb as you feel confident with here to propel yourself onto a good exit. He has a bit of a snap there, but he's not going to back out of his lap just yet. He's pushing, and I know him and Sparks are in a call together, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. As he's going to come into some traffic there, though, and a Haas parked on the exit has just blocked him, and that is lol, I scored. So he will not be happy with that.
It's a big shame for him. Kizzy now rounding final corner. It's a solid lap. Doesn't look like it'll be quick enough for pole. It's second fastest, 1:17.1 there. Nicely done from Kizzy. He'll be looking for a very good result today and big points on offer if he can do well in both races this afternoon.
Yeah, I think that's the big part about a sprint round. It's the amount of points you can claw back here, and I think that's going to hurt our old championship leader from before last round, Kia Plays. He's out for the next 3, and being a sprint round, that's going to hurt him even more than it would have before.
So we'll just have a look of the Aston Martin of Sandy here's just started a lap. He's opened up the DRS now, down towards the swooping left-hander. He keeps it nice and close to the curb. Doesn't go as wide as some drivers usually would on the exit there, just keeps it nice and neat. Now he's up 1/10 on his time at the moment. He's got about 7/10 to provisional pole at the moment, so a long way to go if that's what he's aiming for. Doesn't quite nail the chicane there, takes a bit too much curb on the exit there. And now just through the second sector he goes, and looks just a little bit unsettled through this part of the track, so probably not gaining enough time, or he has gained almost 3/10, so He needs about 3/10 to gain any positions, and he's gone off the track and invalidated there. So that nullifies all the work he's done on that lap so far.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. But meanwhile, his teammate, Alpha 3, is about to round the final corner. I wonder how he's been doing. Obviously, I haven't been watching because we've been with It's Sandy. Let's see, does he improve on his second lap time? It looks like it's going to be a 1 minute 17, and it is a P3, 1 minute 17.1. So, good lap there from Alpha 3.
Very handy lap there from him. He'll be pretty pleased with that. Still a long time to go, so he's probably going to need to improve on that if he wants to hang on to that P3. But another thing we've seen in qualifyings recently is a lot of drivers struggling to improve on their final runs. I'm not sure if there's a bit of psychology behind it, the pressure of the final run. Interested to get your take on it.
Yeah, I think it does mainly come down to pressure, and that's why a lot of drivers go for 3 runs, because it gives them 2 chances to at least try to get it right, and even if the track isn't optimal, they can still set a relatively okay time, like Milan is doing right here, and I think in the last run it's just so much pressure to deliver, and only the best of the best can sometimes overcome that pressure, as we've seen some impressive pole laps, say, last season from Sparks just out of nowhere in his final runs and things like that. And I think also on this game, the tyre marbles, they build up as qualifying goes on. And I think it makes it, if a driver takes an alternate line to what the game might suggest is the line, the tyre marbles, yeah, Milan 16.8, 7, only 8 milliseconds faster than Sparks. And I think the tyre marbles do play a big factor, as I think I've seen some people sometimes just creep off the line a little bit and run wide because of the marbles.
Yeah, much bigger effect on this game than in the last one. Milan's just set a beautiful lap time there. He's another one of those drivers got a lot more ability than what their championship ranking shows at this early stage in the season, so he'll be hoping to string a couple good races together, and if he's on pole today, that would be the perfect start for him.
Yeah, I think Milan is definitely one of the contenders, and I'm hoping to see him blossom as he did last season. You did take him under your wing, J-Man, and you did plan to sign him this season, and I snagged him off you during the draft. Yeah. But it's playing out in my hand, I must say. But I think he still has even better heights to reach as this season goes on.
Yeah, just have a look at Noah here at the moment. I believe his first race of this season, or maybe his race before, but he's crossing the line now. We know what he could do last season, and he set a great lap 1:16.9. If we remember the heartbreak he had in Hungary last time out, having a brilliant race in second before just being spun round on the final lap. That was very disappointing to watch, but he'll be looking to make amends today in that Haas.
Yeah, I think he just got the game on PC, so he'll be looking to push quite hard and start his claw back in the championship. He did race last time out in Div 1, but not in Tier 2, as Lolai scored. Spun around, yellow flag.
Yeah, I'm on the track there. Sandy just went past him, so I think he's just dropped it himself there. But yeah, that's no good for him, so he's not going to be any higher than 10th. I suspect he'll be starting even lower than that for the race, so definitely hurts.
As Fire Strike's just starting a lap if you want to go along board with that.
Yep, Fire Strike in the Alpine, moved from Haas last season. Didn't show an incredible amount of pace, but had some good consistency and is a pretty clean driver, so he can be pleased in that regard. Let's see how he goes in his hot lap. It looks like he's pulled out of this one on this occasion. So maybe just going for another warm-up now.
Maybe so, and Mickey has invalidated, so as Sparks 16.3. Can't believe we missed that, but as I said, he did have some pace. I think he's managed a 15.7 in a short quali earlier when I was in the call with him. A lot earlier today, so I think he'll be looking for that in his final runners. How long is there in quali? Yeah, he does just about have time to get in and go again. But he does have some other drivers also here charging up and getting ready to go for a lap. One example of that is McNuggies down in P4. He's just turned on the battery as his final run in qualifying has begun here, hard on the brakes after the 100-meter board, down to second gear. He gets it to the apex, don't get a snap like he did on his first run, and he didn't, opening up the DRS down this very small little straight, making sure to get the good traction down through this corner and then get back across to... Yeah, impressive from Sandy there, as now the hardest corner on this circuit, in my opinion. You got to really just dig deep here, and it does understeer him a little bit, but he carried a very good minimum speed, but he does run a little bit wide through there, so not the first sector he would have wanted, but the middle sector is where most of the time is here. It's the driver's sector, where the setup doesn't make the difference, the driver can, as lifting off, just trusting the car to stick with him, a little bit slow through there. Is he up on his time as he's about to enter sector 3? He's up 2/10, so that will move him up to P4, maybe even P3, depending on how his final sector goes. He might still have some final bits of time to find as he hits the second apex, and now the final corner. What's his final run going to be? He gets dropped to P6 because Alpha 3 goes P3. The Aston Martin's having a great result. McNuggies stays P6, loses some time in the final sector. And I must say, you must be ecstatic with how the Astons have pulled out their final runs here.
Yeah, what about the Aston Martins in qualifying here? Great laps from both of them in second and third. Sparks has laid down the challenge for the leaders here this afternoon. He's 3/10 clear of all comers. We'll see if either Milan or Noah can knock that off, or maybe Mickey. Mickey was the one to steal it from Sparks last week. He's down in 13th at the moment, still in the pits. So he's going to have to come out pretty quickly if he wants to set a lap in. And Milan's out in the track now. But we'll follow Noah, who's in 5th at the moment. He's got 6/10 to gain on Spark if he wants that pole position, and now making his way through Sector 1. Looked pretty clean through there. Turns back to the right and got some pretty good pace through there. We'll see what his split time is. Only just up, so he's going to have to find a lot of time in the rest of the lap here as he makes his way around through the right-hander there and now towards the chicane. Turns in, looked pretty smooth through there. And Sparks' 6/10 lead looms large at the moment. Mercedes lets him go through. Noah still looking pretty good through here. Not sure if it's quite going to be enough. Only 1/10 up. That'll just get him into 4th at this moment. Unless he can pull out some serious time in the last sector. Keeps it close to the curb on the left-hand side there. And now running through to the final corner. Coming all the way around. DRS opens up. Crosses the line, and it's going to go up to 4th. Not quite enough for Noah, but a good effort from him if he hangs on to that position.
Yeah, and Sparks is beginning his final flying lap, so I think we go on board with him. And Milan is also sizing up to begin his lap, but we'll go with Sparks for the moment. DRS open, the battery is on. Will he be able to improve down into the 15s, or just even faster than he is right now in the 16s? Gets to the first apex nice and clean. DRS open, battery obviously still burning as he's good on the power, into turn 2, sweeps through, he holds 4th gear, and that gives him very nice traction as hold it flat out to the right. And how is his first sector split? Will he be up on his time? Yes, he's 2/10 up on his previous best, so this is looking good for Sparks right now, but the hardest part of the track is still to come, as heading into the chicane, you've got to brake late, but you've also got to make it to the apex. He makes it absolutely perfectly, back on the power as fast as you like, and just a little dab of the brakes, get the rotation, back to the right. He's absolutely flying here. What a lap this would be if he can continue to get it together as through into the final sector. Great run through there, pushing the absolute limit. This is 3.5 up for Sparks. This might be able to get him into the 1 minute 15s if he can just push that little bit more in the final sector. It's down to 3rd gear, get good on the traction, and then into the braking for the final corner. Don't understeer out wide. He gets a good exit. Will this be a 1 minute 15? It is going to be an improvement. It's a 1 minute 15.9. Will Milan be able to beat that? He rounds the final corner. He's only up by a 10th. Kizzy up to 2nd. Milan only doesn't improve, actually. As
8/10 in the meantime as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough considering his current time, but he's going to come around to the final corner here. It looks like Sparks is going to hang on. McNuggy's in the pits. so he's not going to improve. What can Mickey come up with? Can he steal at the last moment once again? No, he can't. Only 10th. Not the greatest lap from Mickey. But Sparks on fire takes pole by over 5/10 here in Hungary. Incredible.
Yeah, what a lap from Sparks there. It was great to watch that onboard. He was pushing the absolute limit, and honestly, that's the sort of Tier 1 time we could expect. I think a little bit faster than that, but he is on definitely a very solid pace standard here at Hungary, and I think when he does reserve Div 1 later, he will be able to just really propel himself and show to the TPs that it was the right choice for him to go number 1 pick, because I know a few people have doubted it.
Yeah, he's really making his case known to everyone out there at the moment. He equal lead of the Div 2 championship, and he's threatening to extend that lead today. It's going to be a huge challenge for everyone else. Who's going to be able to keep up with Spark? I can't believe I'm saying this after last season when he got absolutely demolished by Vipermon, but what a turnaround it's been for him.
Yeah, so Sparks on pole with a 15.990. And then Kizzy, 5/10 back P2. Sandy, the Aston Martins have had an absolutely brilliant qualifying session, P3 and P4. Hopefully they can carry that through. Hudman in his final run got to P5, and Noah rounds out your top 6. People of note, McNuggies he's down in P9, and he's our championship contender. He's the person tied with Sparks, so he has some work to do over the sprint in the main race.
Yeah, Sparks will be happy to see his main championship rivals at the moment a fair way in his wing mirrors. Mickey's in 10th, and he's the next driver back behind Sparks and McNuggies. Kizzy in a good position at the moment. He's in 2nd. He's got a fair chunk of points to make up, so he would love to have a win today. He's 33 points off. You can get up to 34 points today if you get maximum results.
This is going to be a close championship battle, and I think we're already seeing that start to form just in the early stages, and I'm wondering how, even over the course of this race, how it will unfold, because we know at Hungary things can just go from being on the top of the world to being at the bottom. I think, was it last season or was it season 1? I had, I believe it was Nuko CE reserving for me in Hungary, and he hit the safety car.
Yeah, well, alright, the lights are coming on for the sprint race. Sparks on pole, Kizzy and the McLaren alongside. The lights are out and off we go. Kizzy looked like to have a great start there, and he's already coming alongside Sparks here into turn 1. Kizzy takes the lead. Can he hang on? The Aston Martin's behind, challenging him as well. Perfect start for Kizzy, takes the lead. Aston Martin's going wheel to wheel, make a little bit of contact there.
There's a spin at the back, there's a massive crash!
Down the order. What has gone on? Macca Jr. McNuggies is involved as well as Bastos. They're all spinning around the track, and Noah is losing positions as well. He's gone off the track, and Sparks took the lead back off Kizzy in the meantime. Very well done from Sparks, making up for a poor start there.
So, what an opening couple of corners here. Milan also making his way up into P6, but crucially McNuggies drop back down as here Webbo looks to go for a move up the inside. Meanwhile, the Williams of Hudman making a move on Alpha 3 at the chicane. Alpha 3 has to cut the chicane in the wall!
Oh. And Mickey's out of the sprint race as
and
well.
It's a safety car.
For Terry. Safety car's out. That Aston Martin is in the wall of Alpha 3. Started P4 in this race. And now down in dead last. So a shame for him. Even more of a shame for Mickey. He's out of the race. But there has been carnage at the moment. And the big beneficiaries, Webbo's up 6. Spicy's up 7 into 6th place. And all the top 3 hold their position.
Yeah, so that was definitely interesting. Imagine that safety car just came out that bit earlier before Sparks got through into the lead. That could have been a good shake-up.
Kizzy would have been ecstatic with that start. Alpha 3's almost missed the pit lane there. McNuggies and Macca are in the pits as well after their incident in turn 1. interesting start here. There's a couple of drivers that have picked some different tyres here. Noah and Alpha 3 have decided the mediums are the way to go. Everyone else opted with the softs.
Maybe Noah didn't have a fresh set of tyres and he just didn't want to risk it with the tyre wear, but I think a lot of other people also did 3 runs, so maybe they chose the softer compound strategy and it gives them 4 sets of tyres.
Yeah, so good start for your man Milan, up 3 places as well. Incident free for him as well, so he'll be happy to be in that position. He can challenge the leaders. Not sure if he got the best out of himself in qualifying either, so good opportunity for him.
Yeah, I know Hungary isn't his strongest track, but I think he'll definitely take the fight to the leaders, as race pace is always something Milan has not struggled with. It's always been the quali pace.
Yeah, I think penalty might be going Hudman's way for that incident with Alpha 3, just punted him off the track and left him in the wall, so we'll see what is to come of that, but in the meantime, the safety car is going around. Sparks hangs on to his lead.
Yeah, as the safety car annoyingly not in this lap, I don't believe, which is annoying because we want to see as much racing as possible, especially in the sprint race. Only 8 laps, so we wanted to see the most racing possible because normally the sprint does create that action because there's so little laps to get moves done, and it creates pressure and people make mistakes, and there's always a lot more aggressive moves, so we get to see the true bravery of some of the drivers and how they cope under the pressure. But I guess we aren't seeing that here in this sprint, at least not right now, but I believe at the end of this lap it will come in, so we will see a big rush.
For Macca here, he came in to serve his 5-second penalty for speeding and picked up another 5-second on the way through, so he'll have to come in again if he wants to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Also got a corner cutting penalty.
That's not ideal for him.
Down in 16th, the Alpha Tauris from the 1-2 of last week. They're now in the last 2 positions here. Everyone really holding station here at the moment. Obviously no pit stop gambles. You don't need to pit in a sprint race. But looking forward to seeing the action resume here as everyone's caught back up to the pack. Can Kizzy challenge Sparks at all, or is Sparks just going to run off into the distance now that he's held onto that lead? It's a big 8 points now, the sprint races. Very handy for the winner.
Yeah, 8 points will be crucial if Sparks can bring it home, or if whoever brings it home, as the safety car is now in this lap, and we will get underway for green flag running once again, as now Sparks takes control of the pace as he lets the safety car dash off to the pit lane, and I think it'll be interesting when he decides to bolt.
Yeah, just coming around the penultimate corner here, safety car into the pits. And he will be able to take off when he wants. He's going to leave it pretty late. And off he goes on the exit there. Kizzy and Sandy was right alongside him. He was forced to pull out. That gives Milan the chance. Milan goes straight through to third. Sandy's being swallowed up by the pack here. He's now going alongside Milan, and he manages to get back through into third. Great move there by Sandy. And Spicy tried to make a move. Milan couldn't do it. Webbo still hanging on around the outside. And now it's Sandy and Milan once again. Milan gets ahead, and Sandy trying to fight it back, can't do it. And well done, Milan into third. Can he hang on to that? And Hudman dropping down the order. He's in AI at the moment. And pretty solid restart. Well done, Milan there into third place.
Some other battles of note, I think Dead Heat is getting pressured by Lola. Scored a little bit as they head into the chicane. PS Bomber makes a move on Hudman as he disconnected from the session, so if you can maybe try get Hudman back into the lobby unless he left out of rage. Side by side through the middle sector, the Mercedes and Alpine going wheel to wheel there. McNuggies has to back out. PS Bomber closes the door and he is lagging just a little bit here. And as we move back up the grid, Spicy is in P6. That's impressive from Spicy. I've got to say, his previous results, he's improved at least for Hungary. He's normally rocking down the back getting lapped, but here today, he is absolutely pushing the limit of his ability.
Yeah, he's up he's up 7 places in the races. Sparks its fast lap. Milan looks to have a little bit more pace than Kizzy here. He's slowly catching up to him. Got a little bit confused when Milan was batting the Aston Martin there. I thought Milan was the Aston Martin.
Oh, there's a spin! Has spun round and he's collected Fire Strike. I caught that on stream. I was just rolling through the grid and he spun across the screen and collected 2 drivers.
Well, so Fire Strike and Lolai scored out of the session now. 3 DNFs, and that's another safety car very late in this one. So that does bring the pack back together. An opportunity for a late move, potentially. Could be all or nothing. Is Kizzy maybe just going to go for a big lunge on Spark here? Wow, so didn't quite see what happened there, but it's going to be an interesting finish now.
Yeah, and Macca Jr.'s gotten another penalty. So I wonder how he's even getting that many, because I don't think... There's a lot of places to go outside the track, but it's like we're under safety car. How is he running off the track and getting warnings?
Yeah, well, he's gotten now 9 seconds worth of penalties, so he's picked up 9 warnings in the race. Not sure how he's been able to do that in 5 laps. 2 of them have been under safety car.
Anyway, we see it sometimes, just people have some poor races. Hopefully the safety car, I think it has to be in at the end of this lap with the way the game's coding works. It has to leave 2 laps of racing, so luckily nobody has to drop back super far and will lose out. And it's just going to bunch the pack back up for a 2-lap literal sprint race.
Yeah, well, if you thought it was carnage before, 2 laps to go. There's going to be a lot of drivers trying to gain positions here. Top 8 at the moment, all scoring points. McNuggy's in 9th. He'll be desperate to at least get a point or 2 on the board. And Sparks just wants to hang on to that lead, get the perfect restart. But if Kizzy gets a good reaction, I have no doubt he's going to give it an absolute go into turn 1 here, which could get quite interesting.
Yeah, I think this will be a very high-intensity sprint to the end, and Sparks did pull away on that last restart, so we know he does have the overwhelming pace, it seems, on the rest of the grid for the moment. It'll be interesting to see if Kizzy, how hard he is willing to push to try keep up.
Yeah, well, we saw Sparks where he took off at the exit of the final corner last time. Is he going to change it up, try and mess with Kizzy a little bit, so just get him off his rhythm to try and get that extra jump? We'll find out. The safety car is coming in this lap. What's going to happen? 2 laps to go.
Yeah, my bet is on Sparks trying to bolt as late as possible so Kizzy doesn't have a slipstream down through turn 1, and I think people to note is Sandy might try to go for a move on Milan. Sandy's actually just hit Milan as I'm talking. So Sparks now takes control of the field, and he's getting back on the power now, and he's... Actually, no, he's slowed up a little bit. There we go. He got a good exit out of the final corner. Kizzy isn't actually that close behind him, and I think it's actually better to look towards Alpha 3, and Webbo goes onto the grass like Alexander Albon in 2019. Tries to go right around the outside. If it's Sandy, goes for the switchback now. Can't quite get the exit, but Sandy had a bit of a snap. Webbo got a bit out of touch there, though. Hudman is also defending the 2. Williams fought just a little bit there up the back. Macca Jr. Gets past PS Bomber, who has disconnected. I didn't realise that he had disconnected, as Milan in the background losing touch to the leaders, but also pulling away from Sandy just a little bit. And Spicy is a little bit over the back of Webbo, but did just run a little bit wide as Alpha 3 in P10, as he did disconnect from the lobby earlier. I did get him back in, so will he be able to charge back through? And McNuggy's, crucially, after spinning on lap 1, is back into P7, so he will get points here in the sprint. Can he get past Spicy, though, to get further up?
Milan is all over the back of Kizzy. Kizzy not able to keep up with Sparks. Milan is now putting some serious pressure on him. He's catching up massively. Obviously, his tyres must be in better nick than Kizzy's at the moment. He's only 3/10 down. Kizzy's already dropped a second to Sparks, so Spark will be feeling pretty comfortable in that lead position at the moment. Running a little bit wide is Kizzy. Can Milan get him down the straight here? He's going to step on the ERS and now all the way down the straight. He's going to continue to gain. Can he gain enough? He's going to move to the inside. Is he going to have a dive? He breaks late. Kizzy gives him the space down the inside. Can Milan get through? Not quite. Kizzy with the better exit on that wider line. And I think he's going to be all right here as long as he holds it together until the end of the lap. Good defence from Kizzy. Milan trying to get through into second. Not quite successful on that occasion.
As meanwhile, Hodman and Dead Heat are going side by side, and through goes Hodman on Dead Heat, and also Alpha 3 looking to get involved to get back into the top 10, which would put him in a starting points position for the feature race. This is also crucial for the starting grid.
He's gained massively on Sparks as well. Sparks has made a bit of a mistake, so it's down to 3/10. Sparks might just be feeling the pressure a little bit. Sorry to cut you off there, but it could be game on. Milan's getting really close as well. This could be a very close finish here into the final few corners. Milan, can he gain enough? He's 2/10 back on Kizzy. Not quite there, and I think Sparks is going to be home from here.
Yeah, so unless Sparks spins out of the final corner, he's had an impeccable sprint, most of it under safety car, but he's getting around the final corner, and as long as he can get the traction down, actually, meanwhile, Milan pulls alongside Kizzy, moves across to block him, though, and was that quite legal? As Sparks wins the sprint race.
Sparks takes the sprint. Kizzy.
Oh, Spicy retired!
Oh,
Spicy crashed! He was looking for his best result yet.
On the finish line, almost, from Spicy. He was in a points position there, so I'm not quite sure what happened. But that's devastation for Spicy. Sparks wins the sprint. Kizzy second. Milan almost got him. Fantastic exit out of the last corner. But yeah, wow, what a race that was. Didn't get a lot of laps of action there, but what we did get was quite good.
Yeah, I'm pondering just a little bit if Kizzy did just move across a little bit late, but I think he should get away with it.
Yeah, McNuggies as well. Did pick up 3 points there, so only separates him and Sparks by 5. He'll be happy that he was at least able to limit a little bit of the damage there.
Yep, so Sparks will be trying to pull away now in the main race, and Kizzy and Milan will be trying to dismantle him from his overall pace lead. And McNuggies also has some work to do. He'll want to at least try and get a podium to make the gap minimal to Sparks after this round. As right now, Sparks, as you said, has a 5-point lead. Will he be able to make that up in the main race?
Now, Spark, he had the sprint race sorted. Can he do it in the big one? We've seen it can be very mentally testing the sprint weekends. So can he hold it together for the full race? We're going to find out here.
I think Hungary is one of the best tracks to have a sprint just because of the action it can create. And especially on the F1 game, it's such an on-the-limit track, and it can just create so much action and so many opportunities for people to snatch positions that they wouldn't normally find themselves in. And I think that's what McNuggies will be looking to do in this race, and Sparks will be looking to just try bring it home.
Yep, so what's going to happen? We're just about to get underway for the race here. And I'll leave it to you to take the start.
Alright, so as we're coming to the 5 red lights here, who will get a good start? As they release the clutch and away they go. Kizzy gets off to a good start. Sparks tries to get up the inside, but Milan has had an absolute great start. And he tries to get through. Sandy is also getting involved here. They're 4 wide into turn 1. McNuggies up the inside. Takes Sparks off the track on the soft tyres. That's one round. And the Mercedes have an absolute mare because Dead Heat also dropping up the field. There's front wings flying everywhere. That's a bugged front wing. There's a front wing infinitely flying in the air. Anyway.
The most unbelievable starts I've ever seen. McNuggies came from 6th, dived down the inside of Sparks into the lead of the race. That's a VSC. Got spun around by Sandy. Sandy couldn't do anything to avoid that. But now Sparks down in third due to that dive bomb, and Kizzy and Milan now take the first two positions. That is ridiculous.
I was like trying to hold it together, but that was funny. There was pretty much at the back, I saw McNuggy spin around, and then there was a front wing constantly floating in the air, like spinning around. As the VSC's ended, Kizzy's off the track, and Milan through into P1, but obviously he did get that drive through. Unfortunate for him. There's plenty of time left in this race, though.
For Hudman as well. Look at him going on Sparks. Oh my goodness. And he's nearly making contact, but he's pretty much pushing him along the track here, is Hudman. And look at the speed he's got.
Why is Sparks going so slow?
Maybe he's in AI.
The line doesn't look right for an AI, though.
Hudman gaining on Sparks. Can he make his way into third position? Sparks has been nowhere in this race so far. Down the inside, the tyre advantage for Hudman helps him out big time. And he puts himself into third. Can Sparks fight it back? I don't think so. And Sparks has just been all at sea here.
I think he might be on AI.
It looks like it.
Yeah, he's on AI. But he hasn't disconnected because he's not ghosted. Ghosting is off, but when you disconnect it still ghosts people.
Yeah, anyway. Noah's now catching Sparks.
And also McNuggy's after his shocking, never mind, he's just spun. I was about to say after his shocking start, he's moved up into P11 and he got on the grass and spun around.
Just a bit of a brain explosion for McNuggies in this race so far. Not sure what's going on there, but Milan's pulled a 2-second gap to Kizzy, which is outrageous. But he's got a drive-through, so that's going to hurt, and he's probably going to have to serve it this lap, I think, or he can do it whenever he wants.
No, he can do it at the end of next lap.
More of a gap.
Yeah, he has to do it at the end of next lap.
He doesn't look to have a whole lot of pace either, because Hudman is gaining with some serious speed at the moment.
Spark in the pit lane. Interesting. Why is he in the pit lane? Surely he doesn't have front wing damage. He does.
So that was why.
Yeah, clearly not visible damage though.
That incident with McNuggies there.
Yeah, not visible damage, which is unusual to see, as Mickey also in to replace his front wing. A lot of drivers have had to come in to replace their wing.
Nah, he had a penalty, did he?
Oh
no, front wing change.
Yeah. And
McNuggies as well. So Spark, Mickey, the three highest placed runners in the championship, all into the pits for a new front wing, and they're all out of the points. So this is going to be interesting.
As on the exit of the pits, Lyscore tries to go right around the outside of Mickey. Will he get the move done? Yes, he will. Just about jumps in the pit lane, but I think Mickey will be able to get him back later, as we don't really have too many close fights actually up and down the grid. The closest battle is 6/10 Hudman and Kizzy still going at it in the McLaren and the Williams. As there's also a tyre difference, Kizzy on the mediums, Hudman on the softs, but those softs will start to drop off after about lap 6. So he has to make the most of those tyres, as there's a yellow flag, Alpha Tauri. It's not Mickey, it's Macca Jr., and he's in the wall without a front wing, and he's going to rejoin onto the track. As I think...
So in the drive-through, so this is a battle for the lead here. Hudman to take the lead of the race, and he's done it. Great move from Hudman. Can Kizzy fight it back? He's got a good exit, but Hudman has the DRS. Hudman in the lead, just like last week. What a start it's been for him in the Williams.
Yeah, Hudman is absolutely flying along in this race. Kizzy has a great run, but Hudman doesn't have a lot of battery. Look at that difference. Kizzy has nearly a full battery. Hudman's on 4%.
Kizzy runs wide off the track there. Obviously has struggled off the start here, and Mac is out.
And that's a virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car.
It would have been better if it was a full safety car. Just bunched the pack up after the chaotic start.
Just lost it in the final corner, did Macca there. We're down to 16 here. So Noah's up into third as well. So this is the actual order that you are seeing on your screen right now. I know it's hard to believe, but we got PS Bomber in 4th.
Oh, what is Kizzy doing?
In 5th.
Oh, no, it was Webbo.
Bastos 6th, Firestrike, Webbo, Milan, and Spark. So Milan comes out in 9th place. He did have the lead, but that drive-through under VSC is going to hurt him.
Yeah, I also think, crucially though, Milan jumped Sparks, even with the drive-through.
Yep, 19 seconds clear as well.
Yeah, but obviously Milan on softs definitely can't go to the end. Sparks on hards. I don't think he can make the end, but maybe. Maybe. I think they can only go... I think he'd be pushing it, though.
Well, all he can do is just do his best from here, Sparks. He's got a lot of work to do.
As a fire strike comes into the box.
Again.
Yeah, just not doing a drive-through this time. Oh, they've... Oh, no. Will he? I think he will because there's less lost under a virtual safety car, but the virtual safety car does end, so Sparks rounding the final corner on the exit. This is going to be a race on the exit. Sparks is coming through. Pit limiter turned off for Milan. Sparks just about going to get through, but Milan is on fresh mediums.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It's going to get a little bit close. Milan keeps himself in DRS range. And the top 7 are very clear of Sparks in 8th. And what an interesting top 7 it is, as I mentioned. If they can maintain that gap, wouldn't that be an incredible result for some of those drivers up there at the moment? Yeah,
Spicy in P5 after DNFing at the end of the sprint. Definitely not where he'd be expecting to be. And he definitely avoided all that lap 1, turn 1 carnage, and it's just played off perfectly in his favour.
Yep, so Milan still not gaining a lot on Sparks. Sparks just has incredible pace around here, and that could propel him back into a dangerous position. Bastos has the DRS on Spicy here in the other Williams. So he's gaining at a good rate here, is Bastos, but probably not enough to make a move. We'll look a little bit further down the order. Sandy on Fire Strike. Sandy has full tank of ERS at the moment.
So will Sandy be able to jump Fire Strike? Instantly dives to the inside to defend and get outside of the slipstream. As right around the outside, Sandy tries it, and he has a massive moment under the braking there. But he is going to still try to go right around the outside. Fire Strike defends well, and Sandy has to try get him next lap. As meanwhile, Milan 6/10 back from Spark. So this is the battle to be watching on track, at least in my opinion here. Milan on fresh medium, Spark on old hards, and they're both pushing their cars to the absolute limit. Who will be able to get ahead of each other? I think my bets is just because of the medium tyres, I reckon Milan might be able to get past on Sparks.
Yep, so it's Sparks with the better pace versus Milan with the better tyres. Who is going to win out? Sparks, he seems to be losing a bit of time through this second sector. Just a little bit. So that's where he's hurting a little bit. But obviously better pace on the straight. Webbo into the pits to get rid of those softs. And it's all pretty spread up the top besides this Spicy and Bastos battle. Bastos not close enough to make an impression though, as Webbo chucks on some hard tyres. He'll lose a couple places due to that pit stop.
As Milan in the DRS is still getting... He gains a little bit, but I think Sparks must be running some lower downforce. As the second bite of the cherry with the DRS here. Will Milan be able to get up the inside? No, not quite. But he is very close behind Sparks. As Sparks drop pace through turn 1 again. So just a little bit of a moment maybe under the brakes. Milan closer than he has been through the entire race. But dirty air is a big factor here in Hungary. Milan needs to stay with him as they come onto the next lap. But that is still a full 2 sectors away as he just enters sector 2 now. Milan putting on the pressure, but Sparks is quite good at coping with it, at least under race circumstances.
Yeah, Hudman not quite flying off into the distance like he did last week. Kizzy starting to pull back that gap as Hudman's tyres begin to go off there, so it's just hanging around 1.1 seconds there between those two.
Yep, so that should be a battle to follow. As just quickly, Bastos, is he going to get close enough? Yes, he will. In the DRS, he's going to pull to the inside. Will he finally get through on Spicy? He's on the inside, Spicy on the outside. Squeezes Spicy a little bit. He has a bit of a moment on the exit. Spicy goes for a little bit of a switchback, but also has a little bit of a moment. And Bastos is now through
as well.
Yeah, and Milan getting the move done. Sparks thought about sending it back up, but just the knowledge to back out there. He knows he has more chances in this race than just this lap. There's still a long way to go in this race. And I think I like this 35% distance. It has a lot of laps, but it also, we aren't losing out when it comes to racing action.
Yeah, it is. It is quite good. As Spice had a little bit of a moment there on the chicane. Yeah, it's good for strategy as well because the tire battle slightly different. The softs can be used, unlike in most 50% strategies where you have to use medium hard. And the gap between 6th and 7th, that was about 20 seconds, now down to 10. So we can see the superior pace of the likes of Milan and Sparks really coming through now into the race.
Yeah, it's also just quickly, Spicy had a huge moment, so I don't think he's going to be close enough on Bastos. He's just beached his car on the curb. Meanwhile, Webbo gets through on Firestrike. Firestrike has disconnected. And McNuggy's also battling Mickey, 6/10 the gap, but I'm going to move back to Sparks versus Milan. Sparks, surprisingly, not close enough to go for a move, so Milan holds on this lap. So
Milan has done pretty well in this little battle with Sparks. So Sparks getting a little bit frustrated. You can see how much ERS he's used compared to Milan. Milan has way more in the store, so I think frustration could be creeping in for Sparks a little bit after that start that he had, that absolute dive bomb from McNuggies. But he's got to focus up. He's got plenty of time. Kizzy also within the DRS of Hudman, so this battle could resume as well.
And Sparks has just gone off the track too, and that would be a warning. I wonder how many he's on. If you want to maybe check the race director, see what the crucial players in this race are on when it comes to warnings. Yeah. So like Milan, Hudman.
But just having a look at the lead here, Kizzy has gotten quite close. He's absolutely burning the battery now. He's got way more than Hudman. Hudman just trying to hang on to that first place. And he's getting close. Is Kizzy. You can see Hudman is using every tool he's got, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Kizzy is going to have to go the long way around here. Can he do it? Hudman holds the inside. Kizzy, has he done it? Just inching ahead, and he's got it. What a move from Kizzy into the lead of the race. We thought Kizzy was nowhere in terms of pace, but all of a sudden he's come back through, and he's just hung onto the lead, I think. Yep, all good there for Kizzy. Well done, into the lead.
Yep, so maybe Hudman's soft tyres have finally died off just that little bit, as you would expect. And also, speaking of tyres dying off, when will Milan's mediums die off compared to Sparks' hards? Because I do know they will die off earlier, I'm just not quite sure when. And is that part of the reason Sparks is dropping back? Obviously that tyre difference is massive at Hungary. The mechanical grip is crucial.
Yeah. Sparks just maintaining that gap to Milan at the moment.
As Mickey's in the wall, he's out of the race! I was just spectating him, and that's a safety car! That brings the leaders right back into it, and they could pit for... Milan could pit for hard to make the end, and Sparks could maybe go for a set of mediums and maybe make the end?
Very good for Hudman. Kizzy missed the pit lane. The safety car came just after he passed the pit lane and before he got to the safety car, so he's going to lose out massively here. Hudman onto the medium tyres, and he's replacing his wings, so Noah's jumping.
Oh, no!
Oh, you're kidding.
That's a glitch, by the way. It happened to someone in another league. When you come into the pit lane under safety car, the Delta glitches and gives you an instant drive-through.
So Milan now with his second drive through of the race, and that is going to hurt big time. Sparks into the pits too.
He can't serve it under safety car either.
No, he's going to have to wait. That is a big shame. Massive shame.
Yeah.
So S-Bomber in a great position here.
Yeah, I have a feeling that is the bug that I've seen a few people experience just under safety car. When you come into the pits, it just instantly, it gives them like 3/10 to slow down.
And because of the terrible timing of the safety car, Kizzy is going to lose out. Noah is going to take the lead of the race here, followed by Hudman. Can you believe it?
I can. With the way after turn 1, if you told me before the start that this was going to be the order, I might not have believed you. But I think after what we saw with turn 1, I definitely can believe it. And Hudman, I think, is in a great chance of winning this race.
Yeah, Noah in familiar territory. We spoke about it in qualifying. The Hungary incident that happened last time. I believe it was him and Vipermon. And it was Noob that won that race quite comfortably.
As there we go, Kizzy.
Where's he going to come out? Is it going to be ahead of Spark and Milan? That'll be probably the big key here. It's going to be close. I'll go on board with Milan here. They're just rounding penultimate corner. And, yeah, don't think he's going to get out in front. He's changing his wing. So that's going to hurt Kizzy. He's going to come out in 12th, I think. Or 11th. Nah, 11th. So what can he do from there? Noah in the lead, followed by Hudman. PS Bomber in third. Webbo, Sandy. Sandy's had a good comeback, but he's going to probably pit again. So what's going to happen from here? Will Noah have the pace to hang on for that lead?
And will Sparks be able to come back through it? I want to say it's a really hard track to overtake at. Because I think a best example of that would be a real-life example, Fernando Alonso 2021 versus Hamilton. It's very easy to defend around here if you know what you're doing. And I think that's what we might see when it comes to... I think Milan will get past Bastos, Five-Strike, Sandy, and Webbo quite easily, but once he starts to battle... Or maybe even PS Bomber. But I think when he starts to battle that top two, I don't know how easily he'll be able to get through, and... annoyingly, also Milan with that drive-through, so he has to basically instantly get out of the way of Sparks.
Yeah, with similarly aged tyres as well, but we're about halfway through the race. The safety car's coming in, and this is going to be a massive last 12 laps here to determine the championship positions. Hudman in the prime position. He's flying into this championship battle. He would love for the order to stay something like this at the moment. So we'll find out here. Noah, it's in the hands of him for the first time this season. And he's going to go now. Off he goes. A great reaction from Hudman. Look how close he's already pulling to the inside to try and make a move. Can he get past on those mediums? Is he going to have a move? He's going to dive to the inside on Noah. Noah doesn't find it too hard.
And meanwhile, Aston has a moment on the exit, and Sandy also. They're going wheel to wheel. They touch tyres. Noah can't quite make a move back as Sandy and Webbo side by side through turn 2. The McLaren versus the Aston Martin. They nearly wheel touch again. Sandy tries to go for the switchback. It doesn't quite work out. Now further back down the field, Milan has hasn't dropped any positions. Actually, I thought he dropped one as he now tried to go up the inside of Bastos. Can't quite get the move done. He's hit Bastos. Bastos has a moment, and now through goes Sparks. There's somebody's lost their wing.
Spot on Noah Fowler as well. What a move that was into the chicane. Unbelievable from PS Bomber into second position. Did not see that one coming at all as Spicy is spun round as well, but into second place. Wow.
So, a lot to take away from that restart, and I know heading through before the chicane, somebody lost their wing, so it'll be interesting to see who comes into the pit lane as one of the Mercedes tries to go up the inside of Sparks. Sparks down in P10. Is he the one? Yeah, Sparks was the one who lost his end plate.
Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, he stayed out. So, Kizzy crucially ahead of Sparks. That's exactly where he would want to be at this stage. And now Milan serving his drive-through, so he's going to move...
Oh, is there 3 wide into turn 1? Never mind, they backed out of it. The Mercedes nearly went 3 wide with Sparks. Sparks, though, nearly makes contact. Noggies, though, the 2 championship leaders, going side by side as they head into turn 2. Sparks doesn't have an end plate, so he'll be lacking in the downforce department. McNuggies rear ends him, nearly loses his own wing, as now Alpha 3 tries to get involved too. And will he go up the inside as Sparks literally has the smallest of buffers I think I've ever seen, but look at that downforce Sparks is missing there. He runs out so wide as now McNuggies tries to go for a move into the chicane. They're 2 friends, but they're also 2 rivals. Will they make contact? No, McNuggies knows to back out, but Sparks really will be suffering. He has no end plate, and that's huge around Hungary. You need so much downforce around this circuit as there's yellow flag at Spicy again, and now McNuggies tries to go right around the outside, it becomes the inside. They nearly make contact and switch back there from McNuggies. They're still battling wheel to wheel. McNuggies now will commit to going up the inside. And will he get the move done? Yes, he will. Sparks has to play it safe and live it for another day. Alpha 3 now goes up the inside. Sparks surely has to come into the pit lane.
Yeah, wow, incredible racing. 2 championship contenders, one in a Mercedes and the other in a Red Bull. That's a little bit familiar scenes there. We love to see that. Great stuff there. But look at Kizzy gaining on Sandy as well. He's back in this race and he's late move into turn 1. It's a good one. And through he goes on Sandy with those aging tyres. Kizzy up into 5th place. This race is starting to heat up big time here around the Hungaro ring. Sparks into the pits. Milan into the pits once again. So not sure what's happened to him, but they're going to be on relatively level peaking once again. They just seem to follow each other around the track at the moment, those two.
Yeah, as I think the Mercedes squishing your driver in here, so it might be putting Alpha 3 in a bit of an uncomfortable position. But yeah, as you said, Milan and Sparks just need to focus on their getting back up to the pack. 11 seconds and 6 seconds isn't too much to gain anymore with fresh tyres, especially at tracks with mechanical grip needed like Hungary. So I think it will be interesting to see if they can catch back up at least to the back of the pack. But they have only 10 laps to do so, and it is a short lap as just quickly, Bastos and Firestrike going side by side through the final sector. Bastos can't quite get the move done as his yellow flag. Spicy again.
Spicy.
He was looking so good earlier, and it's just all fallen away from him. So unfortunate as... Okay, here we go, the run down the straight. Bastos in the slipstream, but so is McNuggies on Bastos. Will McNuggies try to go up the inside? He wants to gain as many points as possible on Sparks. He does go up the inside, late on the brakes, much like turn 1. He's going to get switchbacked, and Bastos still side by side. Alpine and Firestrike has had a horrible exit. McNuggies is going to try to go right around the outside as they're still wheel to wheel. As they enter the mid-corner, they bang wheels, but McNuggies is going to get the inside for this next section, and through he goes, but they're still side by side. Firestrike gets a 3-second time penalty, goes off the track, and McNuggies is through. If he can just get up to a points position, that'll get him 5 points. He's tied again with Sparks in the championship.
Yeah, 6 more points is all he needs, and up he comes alongside Bastos as well. So, and he knows Sparks is behind him. He knows he's got a massive opportunity to take the championship lead here in this race where Sparks has been dominant all race long. And we'll see what he can do here. Noah also catching back up to PS Bomber, who is having an unbelievable race in second. Wouldn't that be a turn up if he could take home second place? Hudman, very similar to last week. He's pulling away with that lead. He won by about 10 seconds last week, and he could be winning by a similar margin today. Sandy trying to catch up to those McLarens. Kizzy got pace as well. Is there going to be enough time for him to get up into a podium place? We'll see. Look at McNuggies on Bastos. Bastos also has the DRS, but it might not matter. Down the inside goes McNuggies. Has he got it? He's going to push Bastos a little bit wide. Bastos with a better exit, though. And it looks like McNuggies has got it into 7th place. Nicely done. And his march continues. Can he get more points here today?
If you can get up to Sandy, I believe that's enough points to get the championship lead, if not at least tie the championship. And that'll be exactly what he wants. Sparks, after gaining 5 points on him during the sprint, and he now just needs to claw that back at least. He'll be just looking for damage limitation here, as Milan did just set the fast lap of the race. As McNuggies goes up the inside, ballsy switchback through the middle sector, and now he's going to go up the inside through this corner. He's taking no prisoners, and he's just leaving them all out for dry, and he gets the move done, and up into the top 6. If he can close up to Weber and get that move done, that would be impressive. His pace has definitely ramped up since this restart. It was looking like he was having some of a lackluster races. Bastos has just had an incident there, and a few cars go sailing by. Alpha 3, though, unfortunately for you, he was in the points. He's now in the pit lane.
So Noah catching up on PS Bomber as well. Yeah, McNuggies very opportunistic on Sandy there. Just saw a slight little mistake and executed it absolutely superbly. And now Noah still on the back. He's gaining a lot of time here as those medium tyres for PS Bomber start to go just a little bit.
As just sorry to cut you off here, J-Man. Firestrike and Lawless Squad were just side by side. And Lola Score did just break that little bit later, but Firestrike has another little run here. He was looking for podium places earlier, now he's just trying to get up into the points. Oh no, that was PS Bomber who was looking for a podium. Firestrike though, running through Sector 2, will want to get points, but he does have that 3 second.
McNuggy's on Webbo once again here. So, looking for a move up into 5th place. His recovery has been immense since the start of this race. And Noah as well, now catching PS Bomber. Big battle for the podium places here for those two. Noah in his return Div 2 race as the Haas team principal. A bad exit for PS Bomber. Is he feeling the pressure of Noah behind him? He's going to have the DRS. Look how close he's getting. He's got plenty of ERS in the tank as well. McNuggies gets past Webbo in the meantime. Nicely done into the final corner. Here goes Noah down the inside. It's going to be easy for him in the 2nd place. And Noah takes back that 2nd place. He's had a great race. Can he hang on with 6 laps to go here?
I've just got a comment on Noah's race here. He's just come back like he's never even left. Like, he just got the game, I think, a week and a half ago, and he's just came back and has the pace, if not better pace, than he had last game, and he's just acting like nothing ever happened, like he never even left.
Yeah, Dead Heat made a great move on Sandy there as well, which put him up into 6th. And the Mercedes have had a great little comeback here. They had a poor start, and Kizzy's slowly gaining on PS Bomber. He's almost under 3 seconds, so PS Bomber's going to be hanging on for dear life to that last podium place as well.
So this will be interesting to watch. So as you said, Mercedes running well, P5 and P6. On the opposite end of the spectrum, had a great week last week. Now the AlphaTauris are both double DNF'd in P16 and 17.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right, exactly the opposite of last time. But look at also how much Kizzy's just gained in this last lap. It's almost been a second. Oh, he nearly just clipped the wall there. But PS Bomber, his tyres must be going, and he'll be feeling that pressure as well. And Dead Heat chasing down his teammate in McNuggies. This could get interesting. Down into turn 1. No team orders at the moment. McNuggies needs those points for the championship, so is Dead Heat going to hold back and let him go? We'll find out.
I believe so. They are in a call together. I do know that because I was looking at the Discord server they're in. So they would just be communicating with each other, and maybe Dead Heat just trying to drag along in the slipstream just to make sure Webbo can't get past him. But Webbo is putting on all loads of pressure to Dead Heat, and Dead Heat is, I must say, coping with it quite well.
Yeah, he's done very well. And he goes off. He's been pushed off by Webbo, who's had a moment as well. Sandy has been caught up in that. Not sure if he's lost a bit of front wing. I think he might have, yep. Sandy, unfortunate, innocent bystander there and got hit by Webbo. Tried to make a move. And look at Bastos there.
Sandy goes off the track. Sparks is out of the race!
Sparks is out of the race. In Sector 2 there. And wow, that has really opened up this championship battle. We thought he was having the perfect weekend after that pole and sprint race win, but it's all just gone so wrong for him, and it's pretty disappointing to see.
Yeah, it could have been so much more for Spark, and he will be absolutely devastated, but at least he walked away with a sprint race win. As meanwhile, Firestrike goes up the inside of Bastos, and they're side by side. Firestrike doesn't get a good exit with that DRS though. Will he go for a second attempt? No, he won't. Oh, he makes contact with Bastos though, and tries to go for a punt to pass method. Wouldn't have gotten away with that if it did get reported. Milan P12 on those softs. Another driver who looked to be on for so much more, and it's just all gone away at the same time as Sparks' race went down the drain. So unfortunate for him, and I think there's a few drivers that will be kicking themselves just a little bit, to say the least.
Milan needed points to catch up today, but the real winner today is the leader, and that's Hudman, who is going to win 2 races in a row here today, you'd think. And that brings him to within 20 points of the championship lead, and the way it's gone the last couple of races, he'll be up battling with those leaders in no time, and he's gapped Noah by 8 seconds, and Kizzy is now chasing down PS Bomber for that last podium place. PS Bomber will be desperate to hang on to it, but is he going to be able to pull it off? We will see. And Kizzy is lagging a lot here, it looks like. Went a little bit off the track, so PS Bomber just hanging on to that place. And there's 3 laps to go, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this lag is a bit disorienting though, because we don't know if he's actually gone off the track or if he's just lagged off the track, but we will stay with this fight. It is the closest fight on the track, and it is the most important fight going on the track, so Kizzy really needs to just get that final push. 3 laps to go, it's hard to overtake here, and he has less battery. Not by much though, so he's just going to have to push, and PS Bomber will be doing everything in his power, I would assume, to stop it from happening, because this would be his first podium, I believe, and his first really good result here in Tier 2, at least this season.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be cheering for PS Bomber, hoping he gets the goods today, but Kizzy might be bringing that to an end, though. He'd still be happy with a P4, but a podium would just make it so much better for him, and Kizzy now rounding the final corner. He's going to have the DRS. He's been closer than he's been at any point so far, and it looks like he's going to comfortably fly through on PS Bomber, who has a little bit more ERS available. Runs a little bit wide, does Kizzy. PS Bomber has a chance to come back at him on the exit here. Kizzy will have the DRS though. And around the outside, PS Bomber, no, not quite. And Kizzy makes his way into that final podium position.
Yep, Kizzy clearly has the better pace. Fresher, well, not fresher tyres. Oh, actually, I don't know if they're fresher tyres, but the hard tyres definitely just lasted longer than the mediums, and it's paying dividends for Kizzy. As Firestrike out of the race, can't be a late safety car. There's only 2 laps to go, but it would have been a very interesting safety car if it did happen to become a safety car.
Yeah, he was in a points position as well, so not ideal for him. Alpha 3 jumps up into that final points place now. And the closest battle on track at the moment, Dead Heat and McNuggies. We'll see. I think Dead Heat is going to just hang behind him for the rest of the race, give McNuggies those extra points. With 2 laps to go here. And Milan is out as well.
So, everything kicking off. A lot of late retirements in this race. First Sparks, then Firestrike, now Milan. I wonder what's happened. I don't think Milan would be too bothered by it, though, because he wasn't fighting for any sort of points anyway. And I think I just want to touch on the fact that now McNuggies will become championship leader if he can just bring it home.
Yeah. That's all he needs to do. He's on to score 10 points today. That'll be enough. That'll put him 5 points ahead of Spark. And with Hudman's lead, I'll just have a quick check who's got the fastest lap. It's Milan. So, no point at this stage. But McNuggies will get 13 points for the weekend. Hudman will get 25. I don't think he scored. Did he score any in the sprint race?
I think he did. We'll see after the race because it tells you.
Yeah, he scored 2 points in the sprint race. So, with that, he's got 27, which moves him up to 57. And he'll be 22 points off the lead, so not far at all.
So this championship fight just really closing up here, and Dead Heat, will he go for a move on his teammate? He's gaining, and he is actually going to go for it on his teammate as he now swoops into P5. This isn't great for the championship if they do make contact, but I think they do know each other well enough to just leave each other a bit of room and with the respect. They are squeezing each other though, respectively, and they nearly make contact, and Dead Heat just about doesn't get through. McNuggies would have been just a little bit scared there, as meanwhile PS Bomber's disconnected from the race and McNuggies up into P4.
Wow, that hurts the PS Bomber. He was having A cracking race. Off the track goes Dead Heat. Lolo scored. Could make it up another place here into 5th, and he does. They're going wheel to wheel. Lolo scored, gets through. He has a penalty, though.
As just quickly, Hudman is about to cross the line and win the Grand Prix, and he wins by an astonishing 12 seconds. Noah will come home P2, but let's move back down to this Dead Heat fight. He's going to lose out the Mercedes 4.5, but they will get a Mercedes 4.6. Noah came home P2. Kizzy rounding the final corner. Great result for him. P3. McNuggies will now become our championship leader if he can just make it around this final corner. He's going to take it safe to the line. He's going to get P4. Takes the lead of the championship. That's crucial in this fight. Dead Heat does get P5 because all I scored does have a penalty. And Webbo comes home P7. Bastos comes home P8. Alpha 3 gets some points for Aston Martin. PS Bomber sadly disconnected. And I think he's out of fuel too.
Yep.
And he crosses the line, yeah. And
Just gets a point.
Sandy
closing.
just about doesn't get the double points finish for Aston Martin. But yeah, that was a good finish to the race there. Lola scored driver of the day according to the game. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say driver of the day. I reckon McNuggies would be driver of the day. At least in my personal opinion. He came from very far back.
Pretty well.
Yeah, Hudman also winning by 12 seconds. A very much I'm an Ubertron performance there.
And he also started 7th.
Yeah, so great result there for Hudman picking up the win in Tier 2. So, Hudman gets the most points over the entire weekend. So we'll just move to these main race results. Hudman takes the win, Noah takes P2, good result for him on his Div 2 return debut. Kizzy gets P3, Nuggies P4, Dead Heat P5. All I scored rounds out the top 6. Then you have Webbo P7, good result for him. And then there's a massive gap back to Bastos, then Alpha 3, PS Bomber, Sandy, Spicy, Milan, Firestrike, Sparks, Mickey, and Macca Jr. and the Alpha Terry's having an absolute mare. And your most scoring person in the weekend, as I said, is Hudman. Sparks only scores 8 points. And McNuggies scores 15. So, McNuggies now has a 7-point lead in the championship.
Yep. Wow, what a race that was for the championship. Still keeps it quite close, and now Hudman joins that battle. It's going to be probably a 3-way championship battle at the moment that we're looking at.
At least for now, that's the way it's looking, but Hudman does still have some points to claw back as he did start late in the season, but for now, shades of 2021, Mercedes versus Red Bull for the title.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Well done to Noah as well, taking that P2 in his return race. And remember, he lost that P2 in Hungary last time out, so he'll be very, very, very relieved that he got that one today.
Yeah, I would say so too, and we're just going to quickly need to move to the Paddock VC, because interviews.
Or the comms one, because there's people in there.
Yeah, it's just because normally some people have some issues joining. Yeah, comms VC. Where is it? Where is it? Comms VC. Am I blind? There. Rightio, so let's just go into the Tier 2 chat. At Hudman. At Noah. And who got P3?
Kizzy, but he can't join.
Please join. So we're just getting some of our podium sitters here into the comms box for interviews. Will be interesting as there we go. Noah, our P2 sitter. Now into the comms box. Oh, no, he leaves. Much like Hudson does every week. So let's try to get Hudson in here. Oh, it's broken as always. We'll just go Socials VC. I'll just tell them to join Socials VC. Alright, I was about to move you. I'm just going to say join Socials VC. Why doesn't he have access to Socials VC? Oh, there we go. Then Noah also needs to move into here. Alrighty, we have our two of our podium sitters in here.
I can't hear anyone. Hang on, wait. Just back out and drag someone else in.
What? Who couldn't hear?
Alright, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so we'll start with Noah in the house. Mate, return to Div 2 and P2. How exactly does that feel from your perspective there?
Oh mate, I'm so pumped. Literally, like I was in P2 in that exact moment last year and like completely just binned it on the last lap. And oh my god, I'm pretty sure I lost like a whole second to Kizzy behind because I was just playing it so safe on the last lap. But oh my god, I'm so pumped.
Yeah, so P2 revenge from last season, and do you think you're gonna, during the transfer window, if one of your drivers hasn't been making the races, you're gonna take up the, well, you do already have the full-time seat, don't you? Because you messaged me saying you'd reserve, but I'm pretty sure you already have the full-time seat, and if so, will you be looking to make a little championship charge?
Well, I don't have the seat at the moment because we got pretty much full drivers in both tiers, but I definitely, especially after now, because today I woke up, I was like, oh, let's just see what I can make, hopefully like points or something. And now I think I'm definitely gonna have to, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to race.
Yeah, so just try reserve as much as you can. J-Man, do you have any other questions for Noah?
Really just fantastic work, just making up for some of the mistakes that were made up front, so well done.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Righty, now to our winner in the Williams. Mate, Hudson P1, how does that feel? Hudson.
Pretty good, it sounds like.
Yeah. Hudson, you're on mute, mate. Hudson.
Sorry, I just PC'd.
Yeah, there we go. So, P1, mate, how are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, pretty good. 2 in a row. Very nice. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty good. Another win. It's really good.
Sounding almost too easy for you there, Hudson.
Yeah, the sprint was kind of a bit here and there because I got involved in a couple incidents, but I fought my way back and yeah, I did pretty good.
You happy with the easy win, or would you have loved to have a bit more entertainment with a battle with Sparks if he hadn't had the incident that he did have?
Oh, well, it would have been good if I had a battle there, but I think the sprint kind of gave me a little bit of a wake up because I had to go from like 5th to last and got my way back to 7th. But yeah, it was actually it was pretty good. Got a challenge here and there, but would have been good to have a battle with Sparks at the end.
Alrighty, Jamie, do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, well, firstly, what a start for you coming from 7th on the grid. And after you missed the first few races, sort of you feel like you're making up for lost time, getting back into a championship battle at the top.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm in the championship battle just yet. I'm just trying to get some consistent results and just try and work my way up. I don't know where I would be in the standings, but Yeah, hopefully just keep getting some good results. The others have little muck ups here and there, like today. So yeah, I'm not really thinking much about that. I'm just thinking more about getting good, clean races under my belt, and yeah, hopefully we do pretty good.
Yeah, well done, mate. 2 wins in a row for you, and really opened up today the championship race. So going to be very interesting to see what happens next week.
Yeah, it will.
Alrighty, thank you for your time, Hudson. That is going to be it for Tier 2 this afternoon. Tier 1 is in about an hour, and I will be your man in the comms box once again. And that is myself saying see you later, and J-Man will be racing next time, so he won't see you in Tier 1 comms box, but you should be looking out for him on track, and we will see you in an hour. Yeah, see you then.